Everybody talks about winning, but shooting taught me something more valuable. How to lose without collapsing. How to miss and still stay present. How to make a mistake and not to turn it into a whole identity. How to let one bad rep just be one bad rep instead of letting it become the whole day. That was one of the deeper lessons of the Forge. It's not always a mistake that costs you. Sometimes it's a story you attach to it. One of the biggest things I learned in shooting is the first mistake usually isn't the problem. The second mistake is. The first mistake might be a miss, a bad draw, a rush shot, a blown transition. Those happen, even to good shooters. But the second mistake is what happens inside right after. Do I panic? Do I get angry? Do I start trying to win it all back on the rest of the stage? Do I check out mentally even though my body is still moving through the stage? The second mistake is where the damage spreads. One miss might become two. One bad stage becomes a bad match. One moment becomes a story. I'm not good enough. I blew it. I always do this. The first mistake costs points. The second mistake costs presence. When I say collapse, I don't mean throwing gear. I don't mean losing it in front of people. Because sometimes collapse is quiet. It's the moment your mind leaves the work and starts negotiating with disappointment. It might look like rushing to make up something back. It might look like going through the motions. It might look like smiling on the outside while you're already checked out on the inside. That's collapse too. Not dramatic, but disconnected. This is where the idea of non-attachment started making sense to me. And I want to be clear about what that means. Non-attachment doesn't mean you don't care. It doesn't mean you go passive. It doesn't mean you stop wanting to get better. It means you stop clinging to the last moment, while the next moment is already asking for you. You can care deeply and still release quickly. You can want to be excellent and still refuse to punish yourself for every miss. You can take the lesson without carrying the wound. That's recovery. Not pretending it didn't happen, not making excuses, just seeing it clearly and returning. So the practice became this. Kind of simple, but not easy. Notice it, breathe, return, and do the next rep clean. If I made a mistake, the goal wasn't to fix my whole self in that moment. It wasn't to win everything back on the rest of the stage. The goal was to return to the next available action. Grip, sight, breath, step, reload, and move. Do the next thing clean. Recovery isn't a speech. It's a return. Shooting keeps you in check really fast because you can't hide from the target. You can't argue with a timer. You can't explain away the score. The stage gives you the receipt. But it also gives you something else, a chance to see how quickly you can come back. And that became more important to me than I expected. Not just, can I perform, but can I recover? Not just, can I stay calm when things are going well, but can I stay present when they're not? That's a different standard. This also shows up in fitness. You miss a workout. You eat off plan. You have a bad training day. The old pattern is to turn one bad moment into a full identity. Oh, I fell off. Oh, I ruined it. Oh, I got to start over. Sound familiar? But most of the time, you don't need a dramatic restart. You just need to do the next rep clean. And in life, it's the same thing. You lose patience. You say something you shouldn't have. You react when you meant to respond. The work isn't to collapse into shame. the work is to return faster, repair if needed, own what happened, and come back to presence. And here's the thing nobody tells you. Recovery is a skill. It can be trained. You can get better at returning. You can shorten that distance between the mistake and the next clean moment. At first, one bad rep might follow you through the whole stage. Then maybe just a few targets. Then maybe just one breath. That's real progress. Not becoming someone who never misses. Becoming someone who doesn't stay gone. Because under pressure, the person who recovers the fastest usually has the advantage. Not because they're perfect, but because they come back. So the deeper practice. Don't worship the mistake. Don't protect the ego. Don't dramatize the lesson. See it, own it, and return. One bad shot is one bad shot. One bad rep is one bad rep. One bad moment is one bad moment. Don't build a temple around it. Just do the next rep clean. That's the practice. So you need to lose without collapsing. Not because losing doesn't matter. It's because collapsing teaches you nothing. Presence teaches. The mistake gives you information. The reset gives you freedom. The next rep is always asking, are you still there? In the next episode, I'll talk about tools. Not gear as identity, not equipment as ego, but tools that just reduce noise and tools that support presence. Because the right tool doesn't create the path for you. It just removes the friction from the walk. I hope you continue to walk the steel path with me.